So do you have to use exactly the same shell?
Yes.
So what happens if it breaks?
That's the problem. They try to make things more easy, less complicated, but they made it even more complicated because now you have to bring two BMW body shells, two Alpha body shells. It costs more than before.
The best laid plans, as we say, the best laid plans can often go wrong. Carlos Lobo is backing, is saying well done to Thiago Sykes for getting through the last event. We've now got 10 cars running round, looking to see what's going on. They actually look already. I mean, I know we've gone up a level. We're in the quarterfinals now, so we've got a better selection of drivers, or qualifiers. But they do seem to be slightly happier with the conditions, even though it's slow. We're not seeing the pirouettes, we'd say, the spins.
Yeah. I think now this is the most critical part of the race, of the wet condition, because it rained heavily before, and it's drying up now. It's just depending on how fast and how quick the track will get a little more grip. And then if you start with wet tires, with rain tires now, it could be good in the beginning. It could be very bad after 5 minutes. And it's the other way around with the intermediate tires.
And is there anything you do to the engines for this sort of conditions? Do you rich them up or whatever, or do anything, or will they be exactly the same as they were yesterday?
If you have more rain and you need some kind of rain air filter, you have to lean them up because it gets less air in. But usually you just change the clutch condition, engage it more early, so it's not spinning so much.
Okay, explain that. So in the dry, you want to have the engine revving faster before the clutch engages, which is obviously going to give it more kick. Is that it?
Yes. Usually we let the clutch engage in dry conditions around 9,000, 9,500, and in the rain you go down to 7,500, 8,000 RPMs.
So that's sort of way of reducing the torque as such.
Yes.
So it pulls away a bit slower.
Yeah, it's more easy because if you engage the clutch quite late, you don't have the feeling in the wet condition, and suddenly the clutch engages and the wheels are spinning and you spin around.
I mean, it's very noticeable. Everyone's. Yesterday it was all full throttle. Here it's all on a throttle feel. I mean, these are big engines and they've got a lot of momentum. How much throttle feel do you have? Is there a good feel of throttle, or is it quite rough, quite coarse?
No, the nowadays engines are quite easy and good to handle. So you really have a good feeling, and you can go also very smooth. That's not a problem.
So they come round now. The man is waving the Portuguese flag, which is getting everyone back into the. Naughty! Someone's had an extra lap they should have done then, and he's realised that he's been called back. So they're doing an extra lap, and now you get called in. So at this point, you just top off on fuel.
No, not for 15 minutes.
No.
And in the wet conditions, there will be no problem, no fuel issue. If you have the fuel tank full, you can go 1 hour.
It's that much less fuel than waiting. Yeah. It's sort of double the fuel consumption. So Frank's showing us something on the roster. I don't know what it is. It's the drivers. I think you can tell from that is the roster's covered because they're all in t-shirts. That's not always the case. I'm sure we've all raced on uncovered rosters and got very wet whilst racing. So there the cars all lined up. Bit of revving and trying to warm the rear tyres. Two-wheel drive, of course, these cars. So this is the 1 quarter. Is it 1 quarter? Yeah, 1 quarter B final.
It should be 8A.
Oh, it's the 8th A. I've jumped ahead one. It's the 8th. See, I've jumped ahead. It's the 8th A. I'm wishing the day forward. It's the 8th A final. A side, and top 3 is what counts. So the rest of it is go fast or go home. And they'll now drive to the grid, and the grid is placed. I've said this to our other guest. It seems to be a bit of a strange grid, in that you've got a lot of the cars round a corner. What is your opinion of this?
I think I really, for the dry condition, I really like the grid because it's more relaxed, and especially with the fast corner at the end of the first straight, it would be less collisions. But in the wet, it's difficult to start anyway.
So 10 seconds before they go. It's taken around the first corner. Traditionally, it looks like position 3's had a problem getting away, and 4 has got past it. There's more grip, I think, on the inside. And there we go again. But car 3's made it easy for everyone by spearing off, so he won't get past at all. Our leader got over. Oh, car 1 didn't have a very good start either, and it goes because it's 2 from 1, from 3, from 7. So it's Pinto from Hornig, from Sanchez, from Gullux as they go down. And the main point of interest there is second and third going round the Superbot bend, because a nice start there made by car 2, who may have lost that nice start. I can't. Oh, no, he's away. He's away and round, as you see, he'll slid through there. He's slightly ahead. So 1, 2. So 3 and 4 is where the action is, as 2 goes off. So 2, 3 and 4 is the action. And after practicing so well, Marcus, they've all made a bit of a pig zero, as we say, a bit of a mistake in this first lap, falling off.
Yeah, that's surprisingly good.
So it's 1 from 6. So Cormac has come up from to third. This wet weather has really played into the hands of the people at 8 from 10. So 2 of the guys who had to run the previous round and have bumped up are showing well. That's no major surprise.
No, that's what I said before. It's they have the rhythm. They have they know the places which are critical. So this is a big advantage, a big plus now. And
a fantastic start for car 2. Nuno Pinto has got his car kind of all patched up and taped up to make like a banger car. He's taking all the air out of it. He's absolutely flying. His last lap was 5 seconds faster than anyone else. And then San Pietro from Felix, from Wyatt, and that second, third, fourth, fifth battle is what we should be looking at. So second is car 6, third is car 10, and fourth is car 8. And then behind them is car 3, and that's a trail which has 2 people who are going to bump up and 2 people who don't. So what has Nuno done that makes him so much faster than everyone else? He's 3 seconds lap faster. Do you think he's on a wet tyre, or do you think he's on a dry tyre?
I think at the moment, if I look at the best times was 32, I think he should be on rain tires, on wet tires. But I think he just was the luckiest guy by tyre choice.
So he's pulled away and he's got a lead of 9 seconds. So he's a long way away, and off spearing to the side goes one of the people in contention. So Cormac unfortunately has had a bad lap and he's dropped way back as well. So Cormac Wyatt isn't quite where he was. But so 1 is way ahead. He goes underneath me now, car 2. The second, third and fourth cars go past underneath us now in the camera corner. And we're with the third place man, who is car number 6. Of Oliver San Pietro, and he's been chased down, I think, by Cormac Wyatt, and they are all quite close together. They're fighting. So you know, what is your mindset when you're trying to bump up? You know, you're not trying to win the race, trying to bump up, Marcus. What's the difference in your thoughts?
In these conditions, it's very difficult because you really try to push, but you don't have the feeling when is it too much, what is too much, what is not enough. So it's quite difficult to get the feeling on the car, on the track, and especially when the track is getting a little drier, it's drying up, and it's difficult to find the moment when is it possible to get faster.
And so does that give you, is it likely therefore that you'll actually push too hard, or do you find yourself pushing too hard at those points, or do you find yourself going too slow?
I think it's all about finding the best rhythm. I think, in my opinion, in these conditions you have to be easy and calm, and then a guy like Olivier San Pietro, who is always very easy and very relaxed, should be quite good on that.
And San Pietro, we're watching at the moment, he is the leading of those 2 cars. He's in third place. What you're going? Oh, and Cormac there just was about to overtake him, and he got too much power. You say not easy and calm enough. Marcus. He's now dropped down a position behind car 3 of Sanchez. So that is the 4th and 5th battle. Now, San Pietro may have to start going a little bit quicker, because I think these 2 are faster than him. Though at the moment, I think Sanchez is holding up. Who's off the track? That was, is that our second place man, or was it? No, it was a back marker, I think.
Yeah, it was a back marker.
That was back marking number 10.
I think Cormac should be quite good in these conditions too, because he's racing in the UK and they have a lot of rain. So
that was actually Jose Felix from second place. So my chair again attempts to collapse. So it's Punto who's leading by 15 seconds. Felix is second, and then right behind Felix is second now is San Pietro, and then Sanchez and Wyatt as well. So second and third are close together, going around the corner, as are third and fourth. So
it's raining again, and
there is some more rain. Yep, absolutely, we can see it. Marcus spots it first. The racer looking for the damp bit. So we're going to slow down again. It's going to get trickier. And if Nuno had good tyres when it was drier, will they be good tyres now?
Yeah, that's the problem now. Because if you went out on rain tires, it could be bad in the first few laps, but now when the rain comes back, they have a big advantage. So, we will see in a couple of minutes.
And we're still with Wyatt. So Wyatt is now ahead of Sanchez. He's back up to 4th place again. And he'll spin round to the left. And I think ahead of him, it may well be 3rd place. So this is 3rd and 4th, I think, coming down towards us. There's the 10 of Felix in 2nd. Now there is our 6th place man, San Petro. So this is actually a back marker they've got through. And it's now a clear battle back up to that 3rd and bump up place. But Wyatt is dragging Sanchez with him. The car ahead of them is San Pietro, the 3rd, 4th and 5th. In these lower finals, that's where the action is. 1st, 2nd is great, good for bragging rights, good for 2 or 3 yards on the grid. The next one, but the key point, of course, Marcus, is to make that bump up.
That's, I think, as far as I look the lap times now, Olivier is getting a little quicker, and also Jose Felix. I think they are both on rain tires, because the times get faster. So they now have a plus.
And it's still raining a little bit. It's kind of it's gone back to spitting, and the sun's coming out. So with 6 minutes gone and 6 minutes 15 gone, 8 minutes 43 to go. So we still have about more than half the race to go. We'll probably get at least 3 more types of weather.
I think Cormac will have a. If the track is drying a little bit, he's using the GRP tires on this final, and I think he will have an advantage. Olivier spun now.
Olivier has spun out, yes. So Olivier has dropped back, and they come round us now. That's Cormac had to take avoiding action from car 4, who's Kenny McCann a long way back. So I think Cormac now has picked up that bump up place, but behind him it is Sanchez, and then Sanchez looks like at the inside of the Superbot corner. Now looking for a space to come back through the Samba Pipes point and down the start-finish straight, sorry, the pit straight. And Sanchez now looking really close to go through the EFRA. The S is there before they come back now, the bottom of the track, which of course is the United Nations bend. But Wyatt gets a better drive there, and Cormac comes down the straight, and now they have a bit of a void unknown. The rain has stopped again. And this is the battle of 3rd and 4th. And Marcus, if you were Sanchez, what would you do now? Would you just wait for a mistake or?
Waiting. Because battling in this condition is very difficult. Just a little touch on the cars will spin you around, and then you lose everything.
Now, eventually, of course, if he does touch the rear end of the other car, it'll be a big advantage. But I take it if you tag someone, you'll get called by the referees, yeah?
Yeah, I think Dallas is quite strict on that. So you have to be careful with that too. But he made a good par.
Oh, tried it, lost it, spun it. So Cormac gains a bit of breathing space, and back comes San Pietro in this battle for 4th and 5th. So that's car 1, our pole man having a nightmare. Maximilian Hornig, he's just dropped back a lap behind. So Cormac looking for a 2nd bump up. As Jose Felix is in 2nd, but our leader is Nino Pinto, who's had an absolute flyer. I think he's local, he's Portuguese. I don't know if he's actually local. He could be many, many miles away in Lisbon for all I know. But let's drop back to the next couple of cars, Frank. There we go, and those 2 of those 3 cars are battling for 4th place. The leading car is the car 3 of Sanchez, who after making that mistake is now trying to gain back on Cormac and picked up 7/10 of a second in that one.
Yep. I think Sanchez is the fastest now of this group. So let's see if he's catching up Cormac again. But the sun is coming out now, so
so we can have more weather. The only thing you guaranteed here in Portugal today is more weather and more racing. There's lots more racing to go, but there's also lots more weather. So Cormac turns in, and now not very far behind him is his 2 one's fallen out. So he's one of his major right. We're going to spin there from now it's car 2, which is the
7/10 of a second.
So and at that rate, it's 2 laps before Sanchez is with him. Well, actually now they're both in the same frame as they go down the pit straight, and they'll turn left into the before they turn right for the first part of the FRSs, and then left again, and the car spins in front of them. That's going to be kind of putting them off. They need to just gather your concentration. And Cormac lost a little concentration there, lost a bit of speed, because he's got in front of him, it's car 5, who's a long way back. Kevin Tollinar's backed by RC Big Scale Forum. He is a long way back. He lets them through, and there's kind of confusion as 2, 8 and 3 go through, but that's Nino Pinto. Is that a lap he's put on them? So Pinto now is a lap ahead of 3rd place. So Punto is leading that. He's the leader, a lap ahead, and that's your battle for third and fourth is what's on the screen now, which is Cormac Wyatt and Sanchez, and that battle, of course, is the final bump-up space. So Pinto has found unbelievable speed. I mean, where has that come from? Is the question. Marcus, tell us. You're a world champion. Where does he find that speed? And through goes Sanchez on Wyatt as they come through that area.
I think the Pinto is just faster because of the better tires. You can see it didn't matter if there was rain or no rain. The lap times were consistent, very good.
And Cormac there fighting to get his position back. Rolled himself against the bottom bend. And he turns tight now. And now Cormac needs to try and catch back up on the 3 of Sanchez. And the battle turns round. And they are a long way behind Felix in second. And Cormac now looking closely at the 3. The 7 gets out of the way well. It's good driving. Heads up from Harvard Gullickson to get out of the battle. And this is the key thing for this race.
I think Cormac is catching up a little bit.
This could well be it's easier to lead than to follow. It's easier to follow than to lead. Is that yes, how you feel?
Especially in the rain, because you can see where the mistakes are made, and you can just jump into the spot where the mistake was made by the guy in front of you.
So it looks like it was a relatively easy lap. We'll find out now as they go past. And it was a lap, Sanchez 34 flat. And in fact, Cormac Wyatt was 1/100th of a second faster in that lap. But he's gained a bit now. He's got closer because he was 9/10ths back and he's not. So Wyatt needs to start getting it more aggressive without spinning it. And in this weather, that's very hard.
Yeah, that's a secret.
Easy for me to say. It's easy to do.
Oh, he's spun.
No, he's done it. So he's spun, but he's still got 3 minutes 10, but that's his last mistake he can make.
And I think it will be even harder now for him because he will try to push more, and that will raise the risk of spinning again.
So Nuno Pinto is a long way away in the lead. Jose Felix has also got a gap of about
17 seconds.
17 seconds, yeah. As he goes across, yeah, 24. Pinto is 24 seconds ahead of Felix, and Felix is about 12 ahead of Sanchez, I think. Between 10 actually ahead of Sanchez. And Wyatt comes down the straight, and he's got a 2 minutes and 30 seconds to make a second bump up, but at the moment Sanchez is looking good. It's really, I think, having a mistake by Sanchez. I don't think that Wyatt, who
yeah, but Cormac was almost a second faster.
He did get a second, and he's got 3 laps to go. So as he goes into the point, but he has 3 seconds to make up. And you'll see going that orangey car leaving the part of the FRS is his target acquired. Goes very wide in the second part. And coming down the straight, it's Sanchez. And then the next car you'll see is the man following and trying to get that final bump up place to the quarterfinals, which is Cormac Wyatt. And they're both on again, and then he's that time round he was a 10th slower. So Wyatt needs to put in a lap like the previous lap and not like that lap.
I think for Sanchez it's now the problem to find a compromise between staying calm, and for Cormac the problem is to push more without spinning again. The ones who makes the mistake will be out.
Yeah, and I think that's obviously playing on their mind, because certainly Sanchez knows if he keeps it going round, he's probably okay. But that's going to probably make him tighten up even more. So it's a real mind game now, as another lap clocks by and Wyatt gains a 10th of a second. So no movement over the last 2 laps, and there's about 3 laps to go. Possibly, yeah, they'll get this lap and 2 more, I would think. But Sanchez, if he can just go straight, he's got what he doesn't want, which is traffic, but he's got through it nicely. And just so you know, Nuno Pinto and Jose Felix happily away in the lead, the 2 Portuguese drivers. So Wyatt is behind, and he's got traffic.
Slower.
And he's lost time. So Sanchez, who has this lap and 1 more, just needs it to keep going in the approximate right direction.
Now it's all about the last final mistake.
And there'll probably be one. Okay. Wyatt gets up nicely up the inside there in the start of the EFRA, and then the second part now. So he's quite a bit closer, I'd say, this time round, but Sanchez can ease off a second and it'll be fine. So Cormac comes in. That orange car is his target, but Sanchez actually in that lap was only a tenth slower. So he's managed to put in a good, solid performance. And Wyatt now is just too far away to catch up on this, the final lap, without a mistake from Sanchez. We already have our winner, Nuno Pinto. We already have our second, Jose Felix. And unless Sanchez makes a mistake, and he hasn't, he's in your camera now, and he's got 2 corners to go, as long as it stays pointing the right way, and he makes the RC timing terms, he takes the 3rd bump up. So that is the end of a very entertaining 1/8 race. Another shower halfway through. Towards the end, it got a bit quicker. So, Marcus, you've seen the race from our positioning, and we'll be watching you in a bit. How much are you looking forward to your race, or how much are you just worried about the weather?
Almost nothing. I really don't like these conditions, because now it's the European Championship shouldn't be decided by the luckiest tire choice, and that's what it's going to. It's raining again, you see, and it will be all about the luckiest tire choice.